Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Respected speaker, honorable judge, worthy opponents, and my dear audience. I myself, Makakmayum Lubabah, Rahman of class 7. With your permission, respected speaker, I rise today to show and support the motion of the House. Democracy has failed in India. And I don't say this lightly. Democracy was meant to be a signing beacon of justice, equality, and liberty. But in our country, these promises remain largely unfulfilled. Yes, India proudly calls itself the world's largest democracy. But behind the glittering title hides the grim reality of injustice, corruption, unemployment, and suffering. Respected speaker, when we peel off the glamorous layers of slogans and speech, what we find is painful. A democracy that exists more on paper than in practice. Respected speaker, please allow me to take you through three crucial examples that expose these failures. Examples that strike at the very foundation of our system. Number one, the Nirbhaya rape case. Justice delayed is justice denied. Respected speaker, let us begin with the 2012 Nirbhaya rape case, one of the most horrifying crimes in modern India. The brutality shocked the nations. Millions marched in protest, and we were promised fast-track justice. But what happened? It took 7 long years for the culprits to be executed. 7 years for justice in a case where the evidence was clear, the arrest was nationwide, and the crime was beyond doubt. This is why we recall the idiom. Respected speaker, justice delayed is justice denied. If democracy cannot deliver justice swiftly in a case that galvanizes an entire nation, then how can it protect the silent victims whose cases never even reach the headlines? The Nirbhaya case shows us that in our democracy, courts move at a snail's pace, fast gather dust, and the victims' families are left to suffer. Number two, youth unemployment and nation wasting its future. Respected speaker, India is home to the largest youth population in the world. This should be our greatest strength, but sadly, it has become one of our greatest failures. Every year, lakhs of young graduates and postgraduates step out with dreams in their eyes. But where are the jobs? Where are the opportunities? Instead of creating employment, our democracy keeps producing educated yet unemployed youth. Many are forced into other bread jobs. Some migrate. So in the case, the galvanized and entire nation. Number 5, negligence in government hospitals. Let's take an example, the RIMS hospital. Lastly, let's talk about healthcare. Respected speaker, in a true democracy, health is not just a service, it's a right. But what do we have in government hospitals, especially in institutions like RIMS hospital? Patients dying due to negligence, medicines unavailable, equipment outdated, doctors overworked or careless. The poor who cannot afford private treatment depend on these hospitals. Yet they are treated with indifference as if their lives do not matter. Respected speaker, in a true democracy, every life is supposed to be equal. But here, survival depends not on rights, but on money and influence. Lastly, democracy in theory versus reality. Respected speaker, when our constitution was framed, that is written by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, it was written that democracy was envisioned as of the people, by the people, and for the people. But what do we have now? A democracy that often works of the politicians, by the politicians, and for the politicians. It's like the idiom goes, respected speaker, all wine in new bottle, the outer covering looks fancy, elections, campaigns, speech, but inside the text is rotten. Corruption, delay, discrimination, negligence. This is what most citizens experience in their daily lives. With your permission, respected speaker, my opponent member, I leave you with 2 hard-hitting questions. I hope that my opponent member also ready to answer the question. Question number 1. If democracy cannot guarantee justice, freedom, food, jobs, and healthcare, then is it truly serving its purpose or just fooling its people? Question number 2. Should we continue glorifying democracy as the best form of government, or is it time to reform and reinvent it before it collapses completely? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not saying that democracy as an idea is bad, but what I am saying is that democracy in India has to deliver what is promised. It has failed the Nirbhaya by delaying justice. It has failed the youth by leaving them jobless. It has failed the sick by neglecting healthcare. Respected speaker, democracy was supposed to empower us, but today it often leaves us powerless. It was supposed to protect us, but today we live in fear. It was supposed to unite us, but today it divides us. Therefore, respected speaker, with conviction in my voice and truth in my heart, I state democracy has failed in India. And until we accept this harsh reality, we will never move towards the real solution. With your permission, respected speaker, here I ask my guest. Thank you, everyone.